Hey everybody, how we doing out there? Life's Journey at 50. So I wanted to touch base a little bit, kind of give it like a 1,000-mile review on the old KTM 890R, the 2023 version. And I have to tell you, this bike has been everything it's built for. Really impressed by the bike. Now, granted, if you've seen my videos lately and riding expert sections and all this other stuff that I did with a bunch of dual sport guys, that pretty crazy, but you can see the right blinker, front blinker is taken off, and then this is part of the windshield that came off. So anyways, I put it through its paces. So I would tell you, great bike. And you can do a lot with this thing. You know, you can adjust. I've had people ask me, like, you know, some different things, but like the windshield, if you really, I did that in a review where I showed it between the Aprilia and this one, and you can get the S model windshield for it if you want to do some more touring. It's very capable to do long hauls. There's no issues with this bike whatsoever. Seat's probably the most, probably the worst thing. It's just uncomfortable. But again, it's more off-road, right? It's narrower and you know, lets you have the flexibility to be able to throw the bike around with your legs and the balancing and everything like that. Yeah, and there's upgrades for the seats if you want to. If you want to get a cushier seat for the rump. I normally trailer this out so far, but the first 1,000 miles have been fantastic. I took the original set of tires off, so they come with the Mitas 07E Pluses. I took those off at their first 500 so miles or during the first oil change, first service, and put on the Motaz Rals 8020s. Obviously, it probably only had 200 or 300 miles on it. I had the accident, tore the tire, had to get a new one on there. So, you know, it is what it is. It's what you do. But the first 1,000 miles has been pretty awesome. It's got the power, it's got the juice, whatever you want to do. I still have to get comfortable with it. I've been on my GSA for so long. I've got the kind of the clutch and braking and everything, you know, I'm not going to say down pat, but I've got it, you know, pretty dialed in on that bike. This one I need to do some just more riding and getting more comfortable with the bike, right? I mean, I've got 40-some thousand miles on cap, and then on this one, only 1,000 miles. So the more I'll ride it, the more I'll get comfortable and understand a little bit more of the nuances and just controlling. It's just a little bit different. Every bike's a little bit different to get to know. But I tell you what, off-road, it was really great. You'll see the footage that I'll drop in here for it. You know, outside of probably the seat, I would say that the ergonomics are great. I did put bar risers on here from Rottweiler, so because I'm 6'2", again, bigger guy, but that helped a little bit. The navigation piece has been fine ever since I put the new, you know, for the Garmin Zumo XT. Yeah, so I really can't complain about this bike. I'm not that familiar on the chain maintenance stuff, so I do have to make sure that after I wash it to make sure I get the chain wax and stuff like that put on there. Normal basic maintenance. And the guys from the KTM dealer, because I took it in to make sure I got the tires and everything right, but they kind of laughed at me because of what I did to the windshield and stuff, and obviously you'll see pictures of it. But yeah, outside of that, I mean, it's a very capable bike. I was, again, with a bunch of dual sport folks. They really kicked my butt, taught me some lessons, and but this bike can handle every bit of it because a friend of mine, Chad Warner, you may know, he did not have his bike there, so he rode another friend of ours, 890, brand new 890R like mine, and I mean, he's a much better rider than I am, and he put it through his paces and did everything that the dual sport guys were doing, other than, you know, climbing, you know, hills going straight up like that. We pretty much did everything, and so yeah, so 1,000 miles in. great bike. If you're looking for this, I'm sure that the S, I've seen the S. Obviously, I went back to the dealership a couple of times. I've seen the S, real comfortable. It seems like a great kind of a more of a touring with the off-road. This is more off-road with the touring. And but the R is just super aggressive. The suspension's great, even for a big guy like myself. I haven't even really played with it much, but even on those expert and some of the advanced stuff that I was doing for a couple of weekends ago, it really, I didn't feel, there was no bottoming out. There was no, I felt, you know, like really grounded and connected to the ground, and could feel, you know, what was going on, especially on the front end. And I do like the 21-inch tire. I mean, I only have the 19, obviously, on my GSA, but I like the 21-inch tire. And it's just a little bit different, but great bike, 1,000-mile review. If you're looking into this arena, being, you know, not getting into the big 1200 range or the bigger bikes and going down the next size, I highly recommend this one, especially if you're doing more off-road, ride modes, everything like that. You can change stuff on the rally, you know, situation where you can do the sliding. I only take it down to 6 or 7. Some guys have it on 1 and 2, really want to slide around the corners. You know, so again, I'm not an expert guy here, but the riding modes are great. A lot of pep, a lot of responsiveness. You know, there's not much bad to say about this bike so far after 1,000 miles. So please leave your comments below, subscribe. Love to, you know, again, answer any questions you might have or listen to any comments that you have about your bike or your current situation with what you've got, which is fantastic. Love to share the knowledge and learn even more. So take care, and we'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.